Yo, what's up, Sifu boys and girls? I'm here to talk about the infamous wall splat combo. This guy, which is kind of an infinite, completely dependent on how much health or structure they have left. And then I'll get into the full screen version of this, which has a very similar principles, but a slight difference in how to technically do it. So it really just comes down to rhythm. You have to get used to the rhythm of buffering in one of the attacks while the other one is active. So if you look, that small window of the activity frames with that palm strike, you need to be inputting a crotch punch, and then when you know that the crotch punch is coming out, you need to be already buffering the palm strike, and then you just do that over and over again. It's going to take some practice. But with each motion, I'm preparing for the next motion, in which I'm preparing for the next motion. So all I can say is practice that. Now for the what I would call the full screen version of this, let's see if we can turn him around. I don't know. Whoa, hey, is he stuck? What the hell's going on? This game is weird, man. This game is so busted. Anyway, here we go. So for this version, I say there's slightly, at least for me, there's slightly more of an emphasis on buffering the crotch punch, and less of an emphasis on buffering the palm strike. You still have to buffer both. It's just that you have to be a little bit sharper with buffering the crotch punch and a little less sharper about buffering the palm strike, because the palm strike is essentially the setup of the combo. Like you can take a millisecond to make sure that you get the palm strike right, but you do have to be sharp about buffering the crotch punch. Eventually, if you were fighting against, like, in a real setting, you would super dizzy this guy eventually, and then you could do whatever you want. You know, you could do, like, all that jazz. The one caveat, though, is that I have an advantage playing on the PS5. If you are at 60 FPS, you can do what One Man Army calls the crotch punch catch. You can do that pretty much all day with perfect execution against most grunt enemies. However, once you go over that 60 FPS, I don't know how much over, but once you get into the higher FPS with like PC players, it's a little trickier, and you're going to have to do a version of this that includes a dash, which I'll show you right now. Now you understand why, you know, you don't really need to buffer the palm strike as much when you can even throw a dash in there. You know what I'm saying? That's why the crotch punch buffer is so much more important for this version of that infinite. That's why you'll often see, even though I can do this version of it against these enemy types, you saw the hair that he kind of missed it, so it's not even like 100% reliable. So for me, I just made a habit of basically always doing the dash version of this. In which case, you want to buffer that dash. You want to basically execute it right at the end of your palm strike, and then you can you have slightly more of a window to do the crotch punch. But then you have to, if you practice this rhythm here, you can do anything. You can do all this stuff. So hopefully this was helpful. Yeah, go out there, practice it. It's really rhythm, and like I said, for the full screen version, it's really important that you get in the habit of buffering either that crotch punch, or if you're on PC or just want to do the dash version, you want to immediately dash after the palm strike, and then you go from there. Okay, so actually, real quick, I maybe sort of misspoke very slightly. So when you're doing again, what I call the full screen version of this, you're kind of canceling the very ending activity of the palm strike with that dash, not so much quote-unquote buffering the dash. Let's see if I can... You see what I'm saying? So there's like a few frames of you like that when he's retreating his hands after the palm strike, that you're kind of exactly like you're canceling that with the dash. So that's actually what you want to do. So I do apologize for misspeaking. The other really important thing here actually is that you can also do this mid-screen wombo against flash kicks, but you have to do the PC version, which I guess you can call it, which is with the dash. You have to dash. Oh, I don't know. I got this. Now I get the super dizzy. Kind of funny. Yeah. See, she goes too far back too quickly for you to catch her normally. You have. Doesn't matter what FPS you're playing on. You have to do the dash. The dash cancel rather instead of buffer. So that's the little addendum I had to put in there to correct something and also show you that it's capable of happening against flash kicks. So again, go out there, practice it, cook. I want to see more videos of people doing it. And bless, man. Sifu's out.